Iran has never been found to have violated the Non-Proliferation Treaty or its safeguards agreement with the JCPOA. All the risks that started to appear, and all the political tensions began to arise after 2018, following the 3-year period of the agreement on the Iranian nuclear programs. Iran is ready to ensure the return to purely fuel and energy needs under the control of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Strikes on nuclear facilities are now, of course, compelling Iranians to consider the physical protection of their nuclear materials, which, I must emphasize again, are under the control of the IAEA and were not to be interfered with. However, Israel and the United States, to our immense regret, proceeded with such actions, thereby and concurrently by creating risks of physical nature, simultaneously undermining the authority of the IAEA, as well as the authority and the importance of the treaty on the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons, which Iran has repeatedly affirmed is obligatory for Iran to adhere to. And the control that in recent years, especially after the signing of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action for the Iranian nuclear program, the oversight that the IAEA provided, while that program was in effect, it was truly unprecedented. Iran has never been found to have violated the Non-Proliferation Treaty or its safeguards agreement with the JCPOA. All the risks that started to appear, and all the political tensions began to arise after 2018, following the 3-year period of the agreement on the Iranian nuclear programs settlement, when the United States withdrew from this agreement. The Europeans, using fraudulent methods, are attempting to present the situation as if they claim Iran is supposedly violating something, while completely disregarding the fact that the entire program was dismantled by the United States 9 years ago. Setting this point aside, they are attempting to create the impression that the sanctions against Iran, which were originally imposed before this particular settlement program, have now fully resumed their effect. And we are very alarmed that the UN Secretary is trying to play along with them in this. Iran is ready to ensure the return to purely fuel and energy needs under the control of the International Atomic Energy Agency. And the agency, without any doubt, must demonstrate its loyalty here to the principles on which the Secretariat operates. The fact that after the strikes last June, during the so-called 12-day war, targeting Iranian nuclear facilities, the agency did not express its official position, even though these very facilities were, in fact, under its direct control. Naturally, this doesn't enhance the agency's credibility, which is regrettable. We highly appreciate the Secretariat's work, and we wouldn't want the agency at this rather critical stage to deviate from its principles or try to politicize its activities in any way. You know, the World Peace Council was established in the autumn of 1925. The Americans then submitted a corresponding proposal to the United Nations Security Council. We and our Chinese colleagues have introduced amendments, first and foremost, so that the activities of this Peace Council, its working objectives and its program of work would be grounded in the existing consensus decisions of the United Nations. The co-authors said they are unwilling to do this and that we must act with greater determination. The Palestinians themselves, as well as all the Arab nations, implored both us and the Chinese not to obstruct the passage of this resolution. It was for this reason that both Moscow and Beijing chose to abstain, and the members of Hamas, based on certain indications, appear to be prepared to explore some form of compromise. Israel, as I understand it, believes that Hamas should not exist at all, neither as a military organization nor as a political entity. Well, I don't know. Hamas, just like Hezbollah in Lebanon, is a part of political life. In any case, one doesn't have to agree with their views. There are many countries where the leadership consists of individuals with extremely radical views. And then, of course, there's the question of how the reconstruction of Gaza will be carried out. Do you remember the ideas that were proposed? To create something like a Middle Eastern Riviera there, a casino city, a resort town. Plans for the resettlement of Palestinians were openly discussed, with destination proposed ranging from Somalia to Indonesia, Iraq, Egypt, and Jordan. This demands a very careful and thoughtful approach because the information we have indicates that the vast majority of Palestinians would prefer to remain living in the places where they were born, where their ancestors lived for generations, and where their family graves are located. But to achieve this, it is absolutely essential to rebuild Gaza, which has been completely destroyed. And if the Palestinians probably have to be relocated somewhere because it's simply impossible for them to live there now, there must be firm guarantees that they will be able to return, that housing, infrastructure, and essential life support facilities in Gaza will be swiftly restored, and we are ready to make our contribution. I heard that President Trump, when he learned about this, reacted quite positively, saying it's a good idea. But since then, Americans have not in any way confirmed their president's assessment. We officially sent them a note stating that we ask this note to be considered as our consent, and even our instruction, $1 billion from the funds that rightfully belong to us should be directed towards projects that will be implemented within the Gaza Strip. And of course, they specifically requested that we be kept fully informed regarding the exact nature of these particular projects. Clearly, we don't want our money to go towards anything unrelated to providing for the basic needs of the civilian population, like building housing, clinics, schools, and so on.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That has often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out Tehran.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.